Hey everybody, it's been a little while since my last video. That was also my first video where I talked about the OCD and depression and tool set that you can watch right there. So this video is,
you guessed it,
my morning routine. Everybody has a morning routine of sorts, even if you have completely self-destructive habits, no doubt you too have a morning routine. So my dear friends, viewers, followers, watchers, streamers,
I'm here to give you some insight on what mine is.
So first, depending on employment and rent and money and other factors that hold me down, I get up when my body wants to get up.
Which is typically sometime between 7:30 a.m. and 9 a.m.
But I make sure that my first moments of being consciously awake are filled with stressful thoughts. Ideally, one stressful thought, one key stressful thought. And that becomes my capstone stressor of the day.
I don't leave bed until I've given this way too much mental energy already.
Once I actually get out of bed, I put on some shitty old sweats and maybe a shirt, and then it's time for coffee. Pour over? Keurig? Coffee shop? Instant coffee?
No.
I absolutely nuke myself with a
Full French press.
Goodbye.
We're not just talking one cup here. We're not just talking 2 cups. We're talking the whole French press.
And sometimes not even that is enough.
Because you've got to understand, the day doesn't really begin until I have Kurt Cobained myself with coffee.
And then the day begins.
So whilst navigating the unemployed or only semi-employed life, what would my work-life balance be without
Panic Attack 1!
Panic Attack 1 is crucial
to getting anything done, anything accomplished throughout the day. Without Panic Attack number 1, it's not really a work day. It's not much of a day at all.
How could I expect to get anything done without my first panic attack?
I wouldn't! And that first panic attack, it is a good one, let me tell you. So after all the heavy breathing and tears, it's time to make a list.
List time.
Because with a clinical OCD diagnosis
And a potential adult ADHD diagnosis on the way, where would my neurodivergent brain be without lists? Gotta have lists. Gotta have them.
And this list, mind you,
is always backed up by the assumption that if we don't get most or all or most of those things done on the list, then there will be morbid consequences that follow. It can be a short list. It doesn't have to have your life's goals on it. It could have 5 key things you want to accomplish in the next 36 hours. And then once I have that list made, I'll tell you, I feel a lot better.
Actually approaching those things and knocking some of those things off the list and getting them done, well, that doesn't happen until
Panic Attack 2!
Your grandmother says that you have a mannequin or something in your closet. So what? What's the big deal? Well, it upset her. And I gotta say, I find it a little disturbing myself.
Panic attack dose means executive functioning, executive decisions are being made. Let me tell you about it.
if I made a list of like 5 things, 3 of those things I get scared of.
So those 3 things are immediately off the list.
Meaning, we're down to 2 things.
So then, looking at these 2 tasks, I begin to weigh my options. Does one involve sending or receiving email? That's something I can potentially take care of. Does one of them involve a phone call? I'm not sure about that. Depending on the day, and depending on the quality of the first panic attack, a phone call may be.
A phone call might not be possible on this day. So after getting one of those two tasks checked off, it is time to obsess over when I will visit the gym. When can I get to the gym, though? When can I get to the gym? When?
Unless I'm having an especially restorative and intentional rest day, then I'm gonna feel like a fish out of water if I don't get to the damn gym.
Because I've got to do my ring muscle-ups. I've got to do hip thrusters. I've got to work on my handstands. I need to keep opening up my hips.
There's a lot of old trauma that gets stored in your hips.
Open those hips up.
I need to work on my hip hinging.
Any variation of deadlift will suit.
I go to a rock climbing gym, so I need to rock climb.
Technically, it's a bouldering gym out here in Seattle. Maybe you know which one.
Right. So after obsessing over the gym and everything I'm going to do there, it's time for a nap. It's still morning, by the way. It might be late morning, or it might be like 1:30 p.m.
But after everything I've taken on this morning, it's nap time.
Shortly after I wake up, it's time to carbo load, because all those carbs are surely getting burned up by panic attacks and gym time. That's my fuel.
That's also a good time to check in with myself if I've taken my Wellbutrin or not.
Since it's a little later in the day now, maybe we can convince ourselves to take a hit of that vape pen.
After that, we take a 20th look at that second task.
At this point, we give way to the internal monologue, an internal debate, really, of whether or not we do that task or go to the gym.
I think you can guess which one of those typically takes precedence.
Well, at least we got one thing done today. And that is my morning routine. You're welcome. Which